We've headed indoors in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the final of the iRacing special event in 2021. It's a dirt racing showcase inside the Tulsa Expo Center as we get set for the second annual iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals live here on RaceSpotTV. Happy that you've joined us wherever you are around the world. My name is Arjuna Kenkipati, alone for today's festivities, but it is sure to be an exciting one. Hugo Luis is on production duties for today, and you can follow along with live timing and scoring powered by our partners at ATVO by heading to RaceSpots.tv, live broadcasting, /timing3 to follow along with all the festivities here today. Well, we have broken out the Dirt Midgets for one final roller coaster in 2021. 20 special events, and for the first time in iRacing history, 3 of them featured the dirt. One of them was a trip to Crandon with the trucks, yes, but we had previously in 2021, back in August, the Knoxville Nationals, where the wing sprint cars got a showcase at Knoxville Raceway. Today, it is about the midget in the Chili Bowl, of course, only about a month away from the 2022 Chili Bowl, which might potentially feature the largest ever grid in Chili Bowl history. Over 370 cars, the record set back in 2017. Here today, a much more conservative 60 cars, and we'll work down from 60 cars into our main event, the A main, through an alphabet soup of heats, features, and all sorts of things. Here's a look at the format. Qualifying has just gotten underway. We've got 3 minutes on the board. In reality, it's going to be 2 laps, given that the lap times are in the 11-second bracket here. The heat races, there are going to be 8 laps apiece. The top 3 advance directly into the A main, and then we go through the alphabet soup. We go through a 10-lap E main where the top 4 advance, the top 4 advance, the top 4 advance, leading up to that B main where it's all on the line. The final 2 positions in the A main will be locked in, and just like last year, we will have 55 laps in that A main. Cautions disabled for the heat races. A bit of controversy from our dirt racing fanatics who would have loved to see the cautions come into play, and of course when caution laps don't count, it makes things that much more interesting, but we'll see how things shake up. We have no doubt we are in for exciting racing today. And if you're wondering how we whittled down the entirety of the iRacing service to just 60 drivers, well, over the course of the past week, drivers from across the globe have been able to take part in their own Chili Bowls. It's not just about this main showcase on Saturday night. It's been about getting the points and putting yourself into what we call the super session here on the iRacing service. The Dirt Midget, our car of choice, and well, it's only about 900 pounds, but 300 to 400 horsepower. Crazy when you think about that. 2.5 power to weight ratio when you think about it like that. Really, really a rip-roaring car, and you'll see wheelies being the name of the game. But with that said, it's time for the talking to stop. It's time for the racing action to begin. Let's take a look at the grid for the first of 6 heat races, as we'll get 18 cars locked into our A main. Cody Parmley will take us to the green flag in heat number 1. He'll be alongside Isaac Suarez with Austin O'Neill and Nick Tuller, row number 2. Stephen Wilson is always impressive on the dirt, no matter where we see him. He'll be alongside Marshall Jacobs, 5th and 6th positions, by Grayson Nolte Grayson Springer 7th and 8th, with Davey Davis, Kyle Nogel, the final cars in the first of our heats. Reminder as well, RaceSpotTV/timing3. Follow your favorite team and drivers over the course of what is bound to be a frenetic evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Of course, we know that the dirt racing community is not just an American-based thing, but in a land down under, we see plenty of World Championship competitors here on iRacing in that World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car World Championship. Be a part of the grid here in 2021 and the 2022 campaign. We have 3 Australians in the field, 19 rookies in what is a really strong class. Inside, we are racing. The smell is bound to be amazing, and the sound even better. But here today, virtually racing, we are ready to get underway. 10 cars gridded up, and it's bound to be a helter-skelter evening that's about to get underway. The pace truck pulls off on towards the safety of the inside of the track. Field in control of Cody Parmley, and we are racing in the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. First 4 cars single file them to the top 3 advance directly into the A main. Going to be lots of fighting between these cars in an 8-lap race. It's not 9 minutes on the board, it's 8 laps on the board. Top 3 looking comfortable. Austin O'Neill has that 3rd position. Stephen Wilson has managed to get himself up into 4th. Now has to get to work on trying to get past the number 25. The top 2 looking comfortable. It will be all about this battle for 3rd as we ride on board with Stephen Wilson coming in already about half the race in the books. You can see the track's going to migrate. iRacing's got a great dynamic model that really shifts the dirt around the track, but for now they're down on the inside. It will slicken up as we get through the rest of the evening. Half of heat number 1 in the books. No changes since the start of this race, at least for now. It is looking comfortable between the top 3 to advance a couple of car lengths between 3rd and 4th position. If you're Austin Neal, you cannot afford to get embroiled in a fight with Isaac Suarez. Might leave you in the clutches of Stephen Wilson in the 6th car, the iRacing.com Dirt Midget. White flag about to be in the air for the first of our heats here tonight in the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. And Cody Parmley has not looked back, has controlled this heat number 1, and he'll come across the line in a couple of moments' time. He'll win the first of our heats. He'll advance straight to the A-main along with Isaac Suarez and Austin O'Neill. We have 7 cars, ready to go directly through then the alphabet soup. Here's confirmation of Heat 1 results. Cody Parmley, Isaac Suarez, Austin O'Neill, recipients of tickets into the A-main. Stephen Wilson leads the contingent in towards the alphabet soup. For someone like Kyle Nogel, it's going to be very, very difficult to survive what is going to be a difficult road, potential difficult road, back towards the A-main. Well, it is time to take a look at heat number 2 and our starting grid here. Ethan Uwe is going to take us to the green alongside Aston Rodriguez, Dylan Yeager, Cameron Stathy in 4th with Justin Adeconis and Brent Cruz, row number 3. Thomas Davison will be in 7th alongside Cole Schroeder, while Joey Robinson and Brady Wagoner will round out the 10 cars here. Truly an international flavor. We've got drivers representing 4 different regions, not just countries, but regions here on the iRacing service. Already a bit of bumper cars being played by a couple of the drivers. I believe that was Justin Adeconis who ran into the back of Aston Rodriguez. But once more, the pace truck is off of the track and we are ready to get the green flag in the air. Bit of technical issues, it looks like, for Ethan Uwe. He's been shoved down the track as a bit more contact, a little bit more helter-skelter to kick off this 2nd heat of the evening. Ethan Uwe, Dylan Yeager lead the way and comfortably clear of Aston Rodriguez, who's fighting close with Justin Adeconis for that final of the transfer position. This is in fact the battle just outside the transfer positions. All of this squabbling amongst the 2 of them is allowing the 10 car to build the momentum, build the run that he's got. Already about 7-8 car lengths clear as 4th place under fire. The all-white number 20, I believe that is, looking to try and hold position and now has to do the hard work of closing the gap with already half of heat number 2 done and dusted on board with Adeconis. Look at the view, look at how he's working that wheel as well. So much power. You've got to make sure you're in control of this car at all times, and trust me, if you're not familiar with this dirt midget, that is easier said than done. Up front though, and looking comfortable, Ethan Ue defends from Dylan Yeager. Remember, these two cars cannot afford to come together with one another because, well, all they'll do is really hold each other up. Dylan is a competitor in the 2021 World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car World Championship, and that's Brady Wagoner, who's gone up and over in dramatic fashion straight through to the alphabet soup. Will be the number 60 car, but taking the checkered flag by just half a car length. Ethan Ue wins heat number 1, closely followed by the World Championship competitor Dylan Yeager. Aston Rodriguez will be the final of the direct transfers. Cameron Stathy, well, didn't really have much of a chance to fight with fellow region compatriot Aston Rodriguez. The rest of the cars, lots of work for them to do, and we've already seen our first car go up and over. It's fast and frenetic dirt racing action, and we find the king of the dirt. Alex Bergeron will take us to the green flag in heat number 3. He'll be alongside Mason Inman, with Sabin Bebent inside of Trent Pullman. Matt Walter, Kobe Zaboris, row number 3, while Dalton Wicker and Colton Price will line up 7th and 8th. Bailey Leeson and Masato Shimizu will line up at the very tail end of the field. Well, the king of the dirt has not enjoyed the best of starts to his title defense. Technical issues have plagued him, as well as just bad luck at times, but he is a multi-time iRacing NOS Energy Drinks Sprint Car World Champion. Also competed in the 2021 iRacing Rallycross World Championship presented by Yokohama Tire for Jim Beaver Esports. Not an easy campaign in that either, a little bit different to what Bergeron is used to doing, but he is a strong competitor no matter where he goes. Very early on the throttle for Alex Bergeron. Heat number 3 is underway. Mason Inman holds on to second. A bit of a spin behind. I believe that was for Colton Price, who was bundled down the field. Top 3 looking comfortable as they begin to stretch their legs. Not really a fight between them. The fight is instead between 4th and 5th positions. Matt Walter alongside with Cody Zororbis as they work their way through this very tight and technical little facility inside the Tulsa Expo Center. Alex Bergeron builds the advantage now, working himself across the start-finish line one more time. For Mason Inman, Sabin Bebent, they've got the knowledge that the position that they're in is direct transfers in towards the A main finale. About half a car length between the top two, about 7 or 8 car lengths further back is the number 14 of Sabin Bebent. Battle going on for 4th and 5th, but it's not going to matter. They are well and truly out of the fight of an automatic transfer. The question will be, does Inman want to get physical and try and get grid position for the 55-lap feature event? Penultimate trip around the quarter-mile facility as car down on towards the inside of the track. Not sure exactly who that was, but Alex Bergeron leads the way all the way on the inside of the track, being hounded from behind. Doesn't look as though, at least for the time being, Inman's going to get that opportunity. So Alex Bergeron wins the 3rd heat in the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals, and he'll advance along with Mason Inman, who was looking threatening and will be someone to watch out for in the feature event. Sabin Bebent advances, with Inman and Bergeron, the rest of the car as well. It's going to be a long trip for the likes of Shimizu, Price, and Pullman, who, well, disaster for them to kick off the night. So half the heats are done, still half to go. Jarrett Liebert had some fun qualifying for this event. He'll be alongside Matt Hancock on the front row of the grid, where Tanner Vidoran and Nate Vaughn will be right behind them 3rd and 4th. JD Laird from the California will be alongside Max Kaiser, while Teddy, Coach Shad, and Sam White 7th and 8th. Joe McLaughlin and Jacob Klein to round out the 10 cars in this heat number 4. Well, I'm just catching my breath because it has been frenetic so far, and surprisingly, despite the people who had wanted the cautions to be turned on, we haven't had too many incidents that would have necessitated cautions to have actually come out, which is really what we love to see. It's going to get more physical though as the night goes on, as the chances to fight for The second iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals slips by the wayside for some of these competitors. Jarrett Liebert really backs up the pack and opens the door for Tanner Vadorin to try and slip up into second, past Matt Hancock. Liebert runs a little bit wide though through the opening couple of corners, opens that door further for potential 3 wide situations. At least for now though, Hancock holds on from Van Doren. There's a bit of action behind. JD Laird gets mixed up in that one. Bit more carnage behind him as well. It's all going on there, but for the transfer positions, the top 3 build the advantage, scamper away. Liebert, Hancock, and Van Doren looking comfortable, but they may have the added complication, the added wrinkle of lap traffic to deal with, as already it looks like Nate Vaughan is about 1 second in front of them, so not far up the road. On board will jump with 4th place car, Matt Kaiser, who is hunting down that transfer position. We really haven't seen too much action for that 3rd and final transfer position so far, but Van Doren looks to be getting held up right now by Hancock. Liebert's managed to build up their advantage. High line for Hancock, low line for Van Doren. Not able to get the slide just yet, but look how close it is, side by side off the exit of turn number 4, coming to the penultimate lap of this race. Whoa, what a heat this one has been. Liebert's start not necessarily executed the way that he would have wanted it to be, but he's built from that white flag this time around. He's 1.3 seconds clear. Hancock is clear of Van Doren as well. Not going to be too much drama between them, but the checkered flag flies for Jarrett Liebert, and he wins Heat 4 in the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. So confirmation, Liebert walks away with victory in Heat 4. Matt Hancock, Tanner Van Doren, 2nd and 3rd, the other transfers, while Matt Kaiser leads the group of cars getting ready for the alphabet soup. We'll see Jarrett Liebert in about 40 minutes time, I would think, given how frenetic this is going to be in that A main. 55 laps on the board for that. Jared Getz will take us to the green then in this heat number 5, while Braden Shute, a World Championship competitor, will be on the outside of the front row. Josh Kosek and David Kalb, 3rd and 4th positions, while Mike Keegan and Kevin Herbert, 5th and 6th. Rowan Gill and Ryan Doucette, 7th and 8th, while Carl Johnson and Michael Giberson, 9th and 10th. Row 5, rounding out the 10 cars in heat number 5. Glad that you are tuning in here on RaceSpotTV, no matter where you are in the world. What an evening it is. Not just a showcase for the iRacing drivers on the Dirt Oval community, but the final of 20 iRacing special events. A journey that takes you from the high banks of Daytona to a place like Knoxville, a place like the Nürburgring Nordschleife for the Green Hell, and closes things off for a calendar year here inside in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. A journey that will commence all over again in just a couple of weeks' time. 2021 has been a roller coaster for so many on the iRacing service. Pace truck down to the safety. At least relative safety for now. Jared Getz picks up the throttle, and Josh Kozak immediately gets the launch on Braden Shute. David Kalb, gets very physical, trying to get 3rd position away from Shute, unable to do so, but now Shute is getting passed by Mike Keegan as well, from 2nd down to 4th. Disastrous start to kick things off for the 5 car, and now coming under fire from Rowan Gill, who gets more physical on Shute, and Shute goes around. Disaster for the car that started on the outside of the front row. The frustration will surely boil over, as he's going to have a lot of work to do to lock his place into the feature race. The 23 car, Mike Keegan, well, he got physical and it worked out nicely for him. Now working on the back of Josh Kozak, about 2 car lengths separating 2nd and 3rd positions. Jared Getz has managed to build the buffer and run away even further up through the field. But half of this heat number 5 is done, and here comes the run from Mike Keegan to the inside of Josh Kozak. A little bit more bumping between the two of them. Kozak gets forced up the track. Keegan will rip 2nd position away. That is grid position for the main event, and Mike Keegan has done a sterling job to work his way up through the field. 3 positions gained out on track. An incredible job from him, but Kozak gonna fight him all the way to the line. Out front though, Jared Getz has not looked back. The white flag is in the air. 10 seconds left in Heat 5 for Jared Getz to come across the line and take that checkered flag. Mike Keegan does just about hold on to 2nd, and Josh Kozak will advance along with him. Well, that was the most physical it's been so far, and I have no doubt it will get even more physical as we progress through these races. Here's confirmation of your race results. Big surprises, Braden Shute, the Australian and New Zealand native, who's down in 8th position after starting on the outside of the front row. But we are ready for the final of our 6 heats to get into the alphabet soup. That is going to be a lot of fun, but for now, it's Rico Robles who will start alongside the 2020 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals champion Logan Rumsey, who held off the charge from Adam Elby, Colton Davis, Joel Berkeley, and Blake Vajulis to win 12 months ago. Cody Meadows, Ethan Toto, 3rd and 4th positions with Aaron Walker and John Canizero in 5th and 6th. Sean Brown, Chris Fritz on row 4, while Alex Larson and Noah Rangel round out the 10 cars, our final heat of the evening. Well, here we go. Ready to race for one final heat race, and this is bound to be exciting. So many interesting faces. The one to watch for, in my opinion, will be Logan Rumsey, that 2020 champion who did it in style, didn't start up towards the front, but fought his way through the field. And once he was at the point, did not look back. Rico Robles, though, will be in control. Logan Rumsey wants to keep him on as green flag is out side by side for 3rd position. Toder and Meadows. Looks like Meadows has just about held on, at least for now. But as I say that, Meadows goes up and over. Physical to get underway, and Toder takes full advantage of that. He gets the transfer position behind him. The battle between Canizero and Sean Brown is going on. Top 2 scrambling away from the chasing pack, but at least for now, transfer positions looking steady. Rico Robles adds about a couple of car lengths on Logan Rumsey. Toder has about 7 car lengths, almost half of the back straightaway at this point in time. Looking comfortable. These 3 cars fighting for 4th might just be grid position, and indeed starting position puts you into one of the alphabet soup races, so we'll see exactly how things will cycle out for them. On board with Sean Brown, and watch the wheel movements and listen to the engine. Bit of contact for Sean Brown, though, and he's going to get collected by Chris Fritz. Disaster for Brown, who's now gone all the way to the back of the field. But Rico Robles, Logan Rumsey, no such drama for them, and all of that fighting for 4th on back is labeled Ethan Toder to be comfortable as well. White flag about to be in the air for Rico Robles, who was held off the defending champion in Logan Rumsey, and he looks ultra comfortable as he'll take the win in heat number 6. Logan Rumsey, Ethan Toder advance alongside, and we get ready to go through what is bound to be an exciting set of races to lock in the final 2 starters for the 55-lap main event. So there's confirmation of the results in heat 6. Robles, Rumsey, Toder going on through, and we're already getting gridded up for the E main. This is gonna start with just 10 laps on the board, and by the time we get to the B main, it will be 16 laps on the board. Only 2 drivers will advance. Can anyone do it from here? Can they work their way through 4 races to advance into the A main? Alex Larson, Grayson Springer front row with Cameron Stathy and Colton Price 3rd and 4th positions. Joe McLaughlin and Rowan Gill will start alongside each other on row 3, while Cody Meadows, Carl Nogel 7th and 8th positions, Brady Wagoner and Trent Pullman on the edge of the top 10. 13 cars ready to race. Teddy Coach-Sade and Michael Giberson 11th and 12th alongside one another. Aaron Walker will line up at the tail end of this field. This is where it starts to get increasingly physical. Desperation will be in the air. 4 drivers advance from here to the D main, where they'll start at the tail end of that field. 4 drivers advance into the C main. It will go on and on and on until we lock in the cars for our 2021 iRacing Chili Bowls Nationals A main. 55 laps will be on the board. But we put the most cars out onto track that we've seen so far tonight, and we've got an increased number of laps on the board. You can see the track is starting to wear in very slightly. We've seen cars make the high line work. Will that be the case here now? Or will it still be cars that can work that lower groove feeling increasingly comfortable. Alex Larson alongside Grayson Springer. Springer tried to get the launch, and he's managed to leapfrog his way into first, on board with Joe McLaughlin as they're 3 abreast coming out of turn number 2, and the pole sitter has been dropped to the tail end of the field. Alex Larson gets mixed up in a huge incident, and that will be disaster for him because he's already reset off the track, and from pole to tail end of the field, that's how it goes from time to time. Grayson Springer leads the way from Colton Price, Rowan Gill, and Cody Meadows. The 4 transfers as it runs. Joe McLaughlin not close enough, at least for the time being, to try and have a challenge. There is the 47 of McLaughlin working his way down on the low groove, trying to get up as close as he can to the cars in front. Here's what happened to Larson. Just pinched 3 abreast, not much that he could really do, and then gets bing-bonged around about 4 different times and ends up on his side and out not just of the race, but out of the session itself. Looks like the 24 of Meadows has gotten past Rowan Gill in a bit of an aggressive fashion, but if it works, it works. As we jump on board with McLaughlin, that fighting has meant that he's closed the gap. Now it's about 7 car lengths, I would say, but opening up down the back straightaway, coming into the closing stages of the night for many of these drivers. It is still a long way to go, though. Drivers that advance from here by no means guaranteed. You can see the track is slicking up, and really a lot more cars migrating upwards. That's only going to increase over the course of the night. Trent Pullman to the inside of Brady Wagona, just a little bit too far behind to make anything work, at least for the time being. McLaughlin still not close enough to try and get 4th position away from Rowan Gill. Looks like almost some contact just behind Wagona. Final lap, though, of the race. Springer looks good, but this is the battle for the final of the transfer positions. Can it work, or is there going to be more drama in store? It's actually the battle for 3rd, excuse me. And all of this might have let McLaughlin close up if there was more time. It will be Grayson Springer that takes the checkered flag, and along with Cody Meadows, Rowan Gill, and Colton Price, they'll line up at the back of our steam main. 12 laps will be on the board. They've got to do it all over again. So we say goodbye to Joe McLaughlin, Trent Pullman, Carl Nogel, Brady Wagona, Cameron Stathey, Aaron Walker, and so many more who are already getting ready to rumble for the second of the Alphabet Soup races. 2 more laps on the board here. It will be Bailey Leeson on the front row alongside with Jacob Klein. Ryan Doucette alongside Noah Rangel on row 2 with Davey Davis and Cole Schroeder 5th and 6th. Masato Shimizu will be in 7th alongside Nate Vaughan. Not sure if we're going to see some of these cars roll onto track, given that some of them may have been so frustrated they left the session. But Braden Shute, Grayson Springer, edge of the top 10. This is where we find the cars that worked their way into this race. Cody Meadows, Rowan Gill, and Colton Price round out the field here to get underway. And a reminder, 4 more cars heading through towards the C main. Man, it is so good to be back covering dirt on RaceSpotTV. And a reminder as well that the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car World Championship is underway live on RaceSpotTV and iRacing Esports Network. Make sure to join Chase Roudman and Justin Prince for all the action on Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Plenty of excitement still to come as Alex Bergeron, who has not enjoyed the best of seasons so far, looks to try and defend his title once more. So 13 cars, 4 transfer spots on the line. Leeson, Klein, Doucette, and Rangel, they've got the opportunity to hold on to those positions, but already Doucette's worked his way up into 2nd. Klein got swarmed on the start. Davey Davis works his way into 4th, bumping Noah Rangel out of the way. A little bit more carnage behind him. Klein has gone up and over, and my, oh my, I said it was going to get increasingly physical. Didn't think it was going to get that physical. Doucette's gone to the race lead as well. Leeson slipped to 2nd. Not sure what happened there, but Doucette looks comfortable ripping up on the outside line. Leeson content to run down low and maintain his momentum that way. The 56 of Shimizu battling with shooters up and under, slide jobs being thrown there, almost some contact. Shimizu goes around, another car into the infield, another car that surely will be retiring from this race. Davey Davis now does have to defend for all his might because he's got right behind him Shute, who is ready to pounce. Braden Shute just there. And this is for bragging rights. Shoot gets the position, at least for now. There's still half the race left to go. Remember, 12 laps. We're going to slowly build up the lap count over the course of the rest of the night. And now, Rowan Gill, next car in line, who wants to try and get past Davey Davis. Really love watching the hands at work here. Just trying to control that power. We talk about right foot traction control in other cars. There's only so much you can do in this car, and it's very much got to be quick hands, taming the power underneath these dirt midgets. Different lines being taken, and it's side by side for second. Ryan Doucette has really launched himself clear of the pack, but Leeson and Springer, they're side by side. Leeson just about holding on, at least for the time being. Braden Shute is ready to join the party if he can find a position to do so. He'll slide to the inside, trying to get past Leeson, because he slipped to third and now might slip to fourth as well. Shute throws the slide job, penultimate lap of this race. Leeson's now in the danger zone. If anything happens, Rowan Gill is ready to pounce. White flag is in the air. A quarter mile still left to go for some of these competitors in this night. Schute's trying to get aggressive, but knows that he's got to hold on for now. Ryan Doucette wins the C main here. He'll advance to our next race in the evening, along with Grayson Springer, Braden Shute, and Bailey Leeson. Well, I'm really starting to lose my voice, but what fun this is. Rowan Gill, Davey Davis, Noah Rangel, Colton Price, Cody Meadows, and Masato Shimizu through the top 10, and some of the cars that we say goodbye to, at least for now. Hopefully we'll see them back on RaceSpotTV for more dirt racing action in 2022. Cole Schroeder, Jacob Klein, and Nate Vaughan, the rest of our drivers now watching on from the sidelines. Kyle Johnson will be alongside Chris Fritz in the C main. Grayson Nault and Thomas Davison, third and fourth. Dalton Wicker and JD Laird row 3 on this grid, with David Kalb, Sean Brown, Marshall Jacobs, and Joey Robertson through the top 10. Ryan Doucette, heroics for him. He's got to do it all over again, this time from 11th in the grid. He'll be alongside with Grayson Springer, Braden Shute, and Bailey Leeson. Increasingly physical. How much more physical can it really get? That's the reality of a race like this. For someone like Doucette, who looks almost impervious in that last D-main race, he's now got it all to do again. But if there's carnage in front, don't be surprised if he is ready to pounce. 2 more laps on the board, so 14 laps now for this penultimate race in the alphabet soup. Just 1 more to go, and immediately Kyle Johnson picks up the throttle, gets the green flag out, on board with JD Laird, looking to go the long way around, gets bumped, might lose a couple of positions. He's able to hold on, now has to get the slide job working to try and get past on Grayson Nolte, who has dropped down from 3rd to 4th. Scrambles on the start, but it seems to be that all of the 14 cars at least pointed in the right direction to kick things off. That's great to see, given how physical it's been earlier in the night. JD Laird runs up the track almost into the wall, coming under fire from Sean Brown. Right behind him, Dalton Wicker, David Kalb. Grayson Springer has worked his way up into the top 8, and a wonderful move down the inside by Grayson Springer to get himself now into 7th position. 3 more spots, and he will advance to the B main. But so much more work to do. Battle for second is ongoing as well. Johnson leads the way from Fritz, Nolte, and Laird, who has actually managed to steal a transfer position away from Thomas Davidson. There's been an issue for Bailey Leeson, an issue for David Kalb. The rest of the cars still out there and fighting for all they are worth. Look at Sean Brown getting that car up on 2 wheels. The amount of power that he's got underneath him has to try and find a way past on Thomas Davison, who is holding steady, at least for the time being. Johnson has built up an advantage. He's not looking backwards, at least for now. The question will be for Fritz, Nolte, and Laird. How worried are they at this point in time? Still plenty of racing to go. Just past the halfway marker in the C main. The 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals is starting to heat up, and we're coming to the conclusion of the evening as well. Davidson looking to the inside of JD Laird, who's still running that outside line and holding steady for now, but it's coming increasingly under pressure. There's a bit of contact. Davison just about hangs onto his car. Not the biggest of contacts, but in cars like this, even minor contact can become major incidents just like that. Laird now looking to the outside of Grayson Nault. Not much able to work there, but you can see the bumper in front. You can see the bumpers being applied to Thomas Davidson. Another car has gone up and over. Laird still holds on to fourth with a bit more separation now to Sean Brown behind. 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go. And reminder as well, RaceSpot.TV/timing 3 when we get into the A main. That is going to be crucial to try and follow along with your favorite team and your favorite drivers. White flag in the air. The battle is for second between Grayson Nault and Chris Fritz, but out front and dominant in the C main, Kyle Johnson will win and take along with him Grayson Nault, Chris Fritz, and JD Laird into the B main. They'll start at the back, and they have it all to do with 2 final spots on the line in the A main. So Kyle Johnson advances with Grayson Nault, Chris Fritz, and JD Laird. We wave goodbye for 2021 to Sean Brown, Grayson Springer, the impressive Ryan Doucette, David Cow, Marshall Jacobs, Thomas Davidson, Joey Robinson, Braden Shute, the World Championship competitor who might now just be focusing on what lies in store for him this coming Monday, Dalton Wicker, and Bailey Leeson's the rest of the cars. Well, here we go. The final of the alphabet soups ready to grumble. 16 laps on the board. It will be Stephen Wilson, Justin Adaconis on the front row with Matt Walter and Max Kaiser, row number 2. Kevin Herbert and John Canizaro will be alongside one another, 5th and 6th, while Nick Tuller, Brent Cruz, Cody Zaborist, and Sam White through the top 10. Kyle Johnson, Grayson Nault, Chris Fritz, and JD Laird have it all to do in what has been a spectacular alphabet soup to this point. Of course, Stephen Wilson, another driver that has World Championship focuses to worry about, at least for now, focus on the task at hand, winning the 2nd annual iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. And you're watching live on RaceSpotTV. Pace truck down onto the relative safety of the infield. Stephen Wilson in control of the field alongside Justin Adaconis. Might get swarmed by Matt Walter on the run down into turn number 1. He's going defensive, but Walter has to go defensive from Max Kaiser, who gets the momentum out of turn number 2 and rips away third from that driver. Top 2 advance, Stephen Wilson, Justin Adaconis. They need to build the advantage as 3 wide behind them. It's the battle for 5th on back. Canizero, Herbert, and Tuller will alongside one another. A bit more contact, a bit more carnage. That's the 11 car of Herbert that's been shuffled to the back of the pack. Top 2 starting to extend the advantage, starting to feel comfortable about what lies in store for them. Wilson has already waved goodbye. Adaconis still has a bit of pressure as we jump on board with Max Kaiser, the car that is running in 3rd, but has bumped himself up into the wall, and a significant impact for him. Makes contact with some cars and instantly waves goodbye to the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl National. Might mean that for Justin Adaconis, he's in a comfortable position, well and truly clear of Max Walter, of Cody Zaborist, and so many more that are trying to hunt him down and rip away the place in our main event. 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl National. Still not yet at the halfway point of this race. You can see just how much the track has developed since we got underway. The way the dirt moves around, so many great things that we have here on iRacing. Brent Cruz, unfortunately for him, another car that gets mixed up in a little bit of strife. The 49 car, though, of Matt Walter makes a mistake, bobbles by himself. He'll slide backwards, and a traffic jam in through the corner. Car going onto the catch fencing, up and over goes 3 different cars. And this has been the most chaotic of races that one could hope to see. And I think Stephen Wilson's been caught up in something as well. Wilson drops to 2nd, still in a transfer position. But what happened to the iRacing.com midget car there? Because he was looking great. He was looking oh so comfortable, and now slots behind Adaconis. Remember, both of these drivers will head to the back of the field when we get underway. I have it all to do in our 20-car main event. 19th and 20th, these cars will line up, but we've seen in the past that anything is possible, especially when the cautions are active, unlike what they've been so far across of the evening of action. It will be 3 laps to go next time across the line. What happened to Wilson? Let's take a look at the RaceSpotTV replay, and that's contact with lap traffic. That was Grayson Nault. Don't think Nault did anything wrong there, but Wilson just a little bit more speed, a little bit more consistency over the course of the night, and he's now dropped to second. Couple of car lengths behind Adaconis. This then is the battle slightly further back. It's not going to matter. This is fifth. White and Tuller duking it out one another. This is bragging rights on the line as the white flag is out for the penultimate time this evening. We get the checkered ready to fly. Adaconis is going to hold off Stephen Wilson for 19th position in the main event. Stephen Wilson will line up at the tail end of the field alongside with him, and we wave goodbye to the rest of the field who will be watching on, slightly distraught, slightly excited as to the prospect of what's going to happen, because it is going to be fascinating. It is going to be physical. 3/10, that's what separates Justin Adaconis from Stephen Wilson when all things were said and done in that final of the Alphabet Soup races, the B main. Say goodbye to the rest of the drivers and take a quick breath. We've got 5 minutes of warm-up for the drivers who have been watching on from the sidelines. Drivers that won their heats, for example, will have been waiting with bated breath to see who they'd be fighting in this main race. Someone like Coley Palmley, pole position, dominated his heat, has not driven this car for give or take about 30 minutes time. We'll step aside for a couple of moments here on RaceSpotTV, but don't go anywhere. We've got the main event, 55 laps for the iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals in 2021 coming up right after this.
This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in indoor series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars and more. Take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone and the Nürburgring. Join iRacing's global online racing community and get on track today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals live on RaceSpotTV. It's the final of 20 iRacing special events, a journey that takes you from the high banks of Daytona, indoor here to the Tulsa Expo Center, but even to places like the mountain, Mount Panorama, Bathurst for those who know it, to places like Knoxville for the Knoxville Nationals, and even places like Phoenix for the NASCAR iRacing Series season finale. My name is Arjuna Kankipati, delighted to have you alongside wherever you are in the world watching here on RaceSpotTV. I'm joined by my producer Hugo Luis, and we are getting set for what is bound to be a Royal Rumble, a helter-skelter, action-packed 55 laps. We've been through it all, 6 heat races, a number of Alphabet Soup races that filled in the final 2 spots in our starting grid for tonight's main event. And it comes down to this. For the first time tonight, we will enable cautions. That's going to be a different complexion. We've seen plenty of physicality already. How will that change the approach from the drivers? How is that going to play out on track? Interesting note for those of you who watched in 2020 here 12 months ago. We've only got 3 drivers in the top 10 that have returned to this main event. That includes Logan Rumsey, the 2020 champion here in the iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. It includes Sabin Beeben, who's had a bit of a difficult evening, if we can put it that way. It also includes Mike Keegan, who finished in 10th position. Beeben and Keegan actually finished 9th and 10th, very close to one another. You can see the cars on track, and if you're liking what you're seeing, a reminder that you can join iRacing now. Sign up on iRacing.com, where every day is race day, and build your own path to getting to your very first virtual checkered flag. We've got world championships that encompass all 4 disciplines that we have on iRacing. Of course, underway right now. We are only about 4 races into the 2021-2022 iRacing World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car World Championship. We've just wrapped up the 2021 iRacing Rallycross World Championship presented by Yokohama Tire. We've also just finished the Force Dynamics Dallara iRacing Grand Prix Championship and Open Wheel Championship. And early in 2022, we'll get underway with the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series and start up a new season of the 2022 Porsche Tag Heuer Esports Super Cup. So much top-level action going on, but every day is race day. You can get involved. No matter what you want, iRacing has you covered. Well, with that said, the warm-up is over, and we are ready to go racing for 55 laps. Let's turn up the most famous song in esports and get ready to take a look at our starting grid for the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. It'll be Cody Parmley who takes us to the green. Pole position, dominated his heat, and now starts at the front in prime position to take victory in this 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. He'll be alongside Ethan Uwe, with Alex Bergeron, the king of the dirt, starting back in third. He'll be alongside Jarrett Liebert, with Jared Getz and Rico Robles through the top 6. Isaac Suarez, Dylan Yeager, 7th and 8th positions, with Mason Inman and Matt Hancock, 9th and 10th. Mike Keegan looks to better the 10th place finish he had 12 months ago. While 12 months ago Logan Rumsey was winner, he's got it all to do once more, starting back in 12th, but we've seen how he can work forward in races like this. Austin O'Neill, Aston Rodriguez, 13th and 14th positions, while Sabin Beeben and Tanner Van Doren on row number 8. Josh Kozek and Ethan Toder, 17th and 18th positions, and then we get to the cars that work their way through the alphabet soup and have started this race from the back, but with a chance of glory. Justin Adekonis and Stephen Wilson have it all to do across of 55 laps. Get ready wherever you are, because we're about to get the engines turned up to maximum, and we are about to see potentially the most physical of races that we've seen over the course of the evening so far. If we go green, this main event is just 10 minutes in length. Reality is, we're not going green. We'll see how things go. It will be Cody Parmley at the front and in control. He's got Ethan Uwe alongside. The green flag is out for the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. Uwe bobbles through turns 1 and 2, opens the door for Bergeron to get up into second, for Jared Getz to come into third, and there's the calamity. Liebert, Yeager, Hancock all mixed up in that one, and my word, it's a parking lot inside of the Tulsa Expo Center. Yeager's up in his route. I don't even know who else is up on their route, but that was disaster. Seconds from disaster. We'd have a field day analyzing what happened there. And on lap number 2, we'll slow things down and the pace truck will be back onto track. You notice, I didn't think we were going to go green for that long. I was proven right there. So the rest of the cars now have to find their way into the appropriate position behind the pace car. We'll dial up the RaceSpotTV replay and see exactly what happened there. And just a reminder as well that don't necessarily trust the ticker on the left side of your screen under the caution, because it likes to go a little bit haywire in these races where cautions do not count, just the way that things work. Looks like we're already getting set to go green potentially again, because it has really slowed on up. No, looks like they're still just finding their position. You can see how busy the track is. There comes the pace trucks. I knew we were going green, just didn't know exactly when. It is Parmley still up front and in control. He's got a couple of cars just behind him. Ethan Uwe's actually managed to get back up into second in front of Alex Bergeron. Stephen Wilson, by the way, is already up in through the top 10. Great start for him, worked his way through the chaos. And what did I say? Starting at the back, not necessarily a death knell in the coffin for your hopes of winning. The 35 car of Adekonis bobbles, and the caution is back out because I believe Josh Kozek has been mixed up in an incident here. Oh well, helter-skelter, hard to tell exactly what's going on, I should say, out on the track. The pace truck rolls back out. Benny, the pace car driver, will be having a field day here. We're going to take a look at what happened in the first of the incidents tonight. You can see just how crazy it was. Jaeger, bit of contact to the inside, and then he sends it, really launches it into the corner, goes up and over along with another car. He's the one that fares worst in all of that, and I think day done for Dylan Jaeger, potentially. He's actually rolled back out onto track, so interesting there. He's managed to, after about 70 seconds, 80 seconds in the box, being able to get back out onto track, but he is 3 laps down. Tanner Van Doren, another car that was mixed up in that first caution, has taken some repairs and is back out onto track. Jarrett Liebert was the car that got mixed up most recently. As we go back to the green, these caution periods are so quick and so frenetic to finish on up. Cody Parmley, Ethan Ue, Alex Bergeron, Jared Getz, Rico Robles, the top 5 as things run. This is Matt Hancock trying to fire it down the inside of Mason Inman. He'll try and slide down the inside. We are seeing that the outside line seems to be the preferred groove, at least for now. Here comes Ethan Ue, though, on the charge, looking to try and rip away the race lead from Cody Parmley. 6 laps now officially in the books as we work lap 7 out of 55. Uwe's pinched down on the inside, not able to get the momentum that he needs to be able to build up as this race goes on. Bergeron about 3 car lengths back from him, and behind him, Jared Getz, Rico Robles squabbling over 4th, 5th, 6th positions. Isaac Suarez trying to get into the fun as well. Getz alongside now with Robles. It's all going on behind these cars. Top 3 very much single file as we look on board with Isaac Suarez. See that car on the inside, losing the momentum through the middle and the exits of the corner, but watch as he launches it through the entry, how he's able to get the momentum on the initial part of the corner. Checks up now for Robles, though. Suarez wants to go the long way around. Behind him, couple of cars think they can take it 3 wide. Never going to work out, and at least for now, it's holding steady as they are. 10 laps officially are done. We've managed to survive with just 2 cautions so far. Knock on wood and hope we stay green like this, because that will mean the traffic comes into the mix and adds that extra element that we love to see. 2020 champion Logan Rumsey has gone from 12th up to 8th, still has it all to do as he's on the inside mounting that berm that you've got, just not able to get the passes done, at least for now. Trying to harass Mason Inman, but nothing doing. Lots of time still to go as the yellow flag drops once more. I think this is Josh Kozak that might have been mixed up once more in an incident here. And there you can see on the outside of the track. Oh! Now, did some of the cars that weren't involved in the incident, were they able to check up in time? That's the question. That's the thing that we're all pondering now. Here's what happened, though, for Kozak. He's down in 17th position, slides down the inside, and I think that's Tanner Van Doren who piles into him. There go the leaders coming on through, and there was one more car that, was he able to get through? I'm not sure about that one. I am not sure, but for the 3rd time today, we'll slow our roll, get back behind that pace truck, and take a deep breath. Get ready to do it all over again. The great thing about these races, when caution laps don't count, it's not like we saw in the 2020 Cup of Nations where we did a race at Indianapolis in an IndyCar where caution laps didn't count. That was chaos. This is a different type of chaos. Parmley tries to bank and diamond off of turn number 4 to get the power down. Ethan Ue wants to take advantage, but Bergeron sees his opportunity, not able to launch it down the inside of 1 and 2. He backs out for now, might come under fire from Jared Getz as back underway. Green flag is out, and Parmley leads the way. Bergeron's getting increasingly aggressive. He finished 2nd in the 2021 iRacing Knoxville Nationals. He wants to go one better here to close off the year of iRacing special event. On board with Getz, and watch the hands, listen to the engine once more. What a noise it is, what a sound that you hear, and reverberating around this indoor facility. Hopefully one day I can be here in person to experience this race as well. Defending champion Rumsey has finally got past Inman. He's now into 7th spot, but still too far behind, not halfway through. Still got an opportunity to defend his crown, but slowly and surely the opportunity is falling away from him. Further battles going on behind. Atacona seems to have gotten past Aston Rodriguez. Inman has managed to get past Logan Rumsey once more as well. It's all going on. Here's Logan Rumsey, now under fire from Sabin Beben, who wants to try and better what he did last year, finishing in 9th. Bergeron's got up into 2nd as well. It's all going on out on track. Bergeron back up to the 2nd step of the podium, now has Cody Parmley in his sights. About halfway through, getting to that marker very, very shortly. UA's now going to come under fire from Get. Still doesn't look comfortable with the changing nature of this track. Bergeron seems to have figured something out. He's slowly but surely downloading the data, figuring out where he goes fast, and now he'll try and calculate where the pass is likely to come. Bergeron slides up the track. Not close enough to Parmley, but he's closed the gap to 2 car lengths coming off the corner. Looks like Tanner Van Doren has had an issue, and that brings the yellow flag back out. Reset once more. Bergeron has gotten 2nd position in his grasp, and the next target will be the race leader, Cody Parmley, who has led the way since the drop of the green flag to kick off this A main. I like this a little bit more than Rallycross, if I'm being completely honest. I was privileged to be part of the broadcast team for the 2021 World Championship, but this is just a hoot to commentate on. Van Doren ran wide and into the wall. Unfortunate for him. Almost a couple of skateboard kind of tricks there as he put the nose onto the wall, but calm down, everyone. One final opportunity, hopefully, to reset yourselves. Hopefully, this is the last time we see the pace truck make an appearance in our race here today. I'm delighted to have a blockbuster race to close out the 2021 iRacing special event calendar. It's only a couple of weeks ago that we had the likes of the Winter Derby. Of course, we broke out the super late models for 300 miles. At the half-mile facility, we had the Suzuka 10 hour at the VCO Grand Slam, where hardware was on the line, physical prizes, but Bergeron doesn't need a physical prize to go for the race lead. As the green flag drops once more, Bergeron almost timed that to perfection, but Parmley holds on just for now. We'll see if that changes. Behind him, Roble and Get. They're resuming the hostilities as the green flag is back out here. Bergeron 1 car length behind, closes to half a car length, coming in through the corner. Uwe's looking comfortable, Robles and Get costing each other time. Bergeron trying to set up the momentum off of the corner. Parmley seems to have figured out what Bergeron is doing now, and he's running that same line, trying to defend from the king of the dirt, Alex Bergeron, for ABR Racing. Bergeron's looking to the inside. Here comes the Canadian. Not close enough. Can he get the power down? Can he build the momentum? Are we going to see a yellow flag drop once more? Because you can see on the left side, absolute chaos has emerged once more. And indeed, maybe blame me for that one with the commentator's curse, but the yellow flag is back out. It involved Sabin Beben. Unfortunate for him, he's not going to better the 9th place finish that he had 12 months ago. Here, involved a whole bunch of cars. Here's the RaceSpotTV replay. So 3 doesn't go into 1, I can tell you that for sure, and 2 cars go over. 3 cars ended up going over. One of them did a 10 out of 10 landing and landed back on 4 wheels. But at the end of the day, we still have 25 odd laps left to go. I said when we started, if we went green, this is a race that could potentially be finished in 10 minutes time. But that's very much a dream, not a reality. And at least for now, palm things down once again. Pace truck is off. Can Bergeron time it up even better this time? Parmley's very sideways, getting off the corner, but he's got the momentum, he's got the run. Bergeron goes straight to the outside line, on board with 3rd place driver Ethan Uwe. Little bit too far behind. He's gonna try and rip away 2nd from Bergeron's hands as Bergeron gets up on the rear 2 wheels, trying to get the power down, getting past Parmley. Nothing doing there. Top 4 very much covered by a blanket. It could go any way at this point in time if things start to get more physical out front. All of the danger has been back in the pack, but look at Uwe to the inside of Bergeron. He wants to get in on the fight. Bergeron tried to go aggressive on Parmley, get the slide done, and look at how Parmley is pinching Bergeron at this point in time. Parmley's looking comfortable as you can be, with a multi-time iRacing world champion hot on your heels. Looks like Robles has just gotten past Uwe for the third and final step on the podium. Can he make the outside line work in his favor? Because now the track has changed. It has changed so much since we got underway when Cody Parmley led us to the green flag in heat number 1 to get the evening's action underway. Looks like the 15 has just about held on to third position, but Robles will come back on the outside line and get that momentum. Almost 3 wide on the entry. Look at Bergeron all the way almost to the wall. Just about fends off the challenge of Uwe, then almost runs into the back of Cody Parmley as well. Less than 20 laps to go in the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. Look at these 4 cars juking out for the win, and Bergeron's got around. Bergeron clips the back of Cody Parmley. I think that's meant that Ethan Uwe has taken the race lead away. Rico Robles is up on his side, and Alex Bergeron has dropped to the tail end of the field. Incredible stuff here. 4 cars that were duking it out like a bare knuckle boxing match. Watch the RaceSpotTV replay here. Looks like Bergeron just clipped the rear end of Parmley. That got Bergeron collected with Robles. Robles is the one that lost out the most. I think Parmley might still have the lead based on the timing of the, of the caution, but I'm not 100% sure. Confirmation, Parmley still has the race lead. Uwe is scored in second. Suarez is now in third, and guess who is now in the top 4? Logan Rumsey, who is running out of time to make it back-to-back in these iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals, but don't count him out. We're seeing how this racetrack is changing lap after lap after lap, and once more, throttles get picked up, green flag drops. We are less than 20 laps to go in the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. Rumsey to the outside line, building up the speed, trying to look to get past Suarez for the third and final step of the podium, but that will not be his end goal. Top 3 on the blow line. Cars behind him ripping the outside groove. Interesting to see where different cars feel comfortable to find the speed. Next time across the line, 15 laps to go. On board with the defending champion as looks to try and get side by side for third. He's alongside Suarez, might even get the move done the next time through the corner because Uwe is backing up Suarez just that little bit more. Looks like Rumsey's got 1. Rumsey goes for 2, almost clips the outside wall as Parmley tries to copy the line of the defending champion, searching for grip, searching for pace at the same time. Parmley blocks the momentum of Rumsey, who bobbles against the wall. Rumsey doesn't get the move done on Uwe just yet. How is he going to challenge this one? This is going to be incredible all the way to the finish. 11 laps to go next time across the line. Rumsey almost ripped second away from Uwe that last time around. Might be able to do it if Parmley wants to work with him. That's never going to happen. Parmley sees the victory. It might be coming. The main challenge from Logan Rumsey, who looks to try and make it 3 abreast as they come down on the back straightaway. Incredible stuff. Uwe's got the inside line. He's got the momentum as well. Nose in front, but there goes Parmley back to the race lead on board with Logan Rumsey, who's in the popcorn seat with 10 laps to go. It is all happening here inside the Tulsa Expo Center for the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. Parmley's now committed to the outside line. He's got nowhere else to go. He's been pinched there by Uwe, who's now got the race lead away from him. Uwe is comfortably out front and in control, coming to the closing stages of this race. What can Logan Rumsey do? Almost gets the wheel there from Isaac Suarez. Top 4 very much are broken away from the rest of the pack. Lots of cars have worked their way through carnage and through chaos to be in this position. Rumsey is +9 as he looks to try and get +10 and get up into second place. Ethan Toder is in 5th, +13, started in 18th, has worked himself into the top 5. Incredible job for him. 5 laps to go, and it looks as though Ethan Uwe, who started on the outside of the front row, is looking like, if he can hold on for 3 more laps at this time around, will be the winner. Rumsey gets past Parmley, but it is not done yet. Rumsey still has plenty of work to do. To quote the great Murray Walker, it is one thing to catch, it is another thing to pass, and I don't know if Rumsey's got enough time to find a way past and to get the momentum he needs to make the pass stick. It might be a photo finish. We're about to find out because the white flag is going to be in the air next time across the start-finish line. Parmley drops behind Suarez as they battle for the third and final step of the podium. What an incredible night it's been. What a ride these 2021 special events have been. Rumsey tries the slide job. He turns himself around. Ethan Uwe wins the 2021 iRacing Chili Bowl Nationals. What an incredible race we were treated to, and what a way to cap off the year of iRacing special events in what has been a roller coaster of a ride. Logan Rumsey was maybe 2 laps away from back-to-back iRacing Chili Bowl national victories. But guess who is going to burn the house down and torture that dirt midget? It will be Ethan Uwe. The number 15 car started on the outside of the front row. He was patient, bided his time, and when the opportunity was there, new race leader Ethan Uwe did not look back. Here are your race results. The Pennsylvania native wins by 1.2 seconds from Cody Palmley. Might be a bit frustrated, will the California native be, but it was a great drive from him, and if not for that contact with Bergeron, who knows how things would have gone. Ethan Toder has worked himself from 18th to 3rd, an incredible drive there, and shows that if you're able to survive the alphabet soup, do not count yourself out. Another driver that worked his way through the field, Aston Rodriguez. He started down in 14th, finishes in 4th, while Jared Getz finishes where he qualified to complete the top 5. Mason Inman will be down in 6th, while Alex Bergeron will be feeling a bit frustrated, but maybe self-inflicted from the king of the dirt to finish down in 7th. The Canadian made contact with Cody Palmley that sent him around. Austin O'Neill in 8th, Isaac Suarez in 9th on the last couple of laps, with Justin Adakonis from the alphabet soup gets a top 10 position. Great drive for him. Josh Kozak in 11th, with Mike Keegan not able to improve on 10th in 2020, with Logan Rumsey, Sabin Bieben, and Matt Hancock through the top 15. Rico Robles, Steven Wilson, Tanner Van Doren, Dylan Yeager, and Jarrett Liebert through the 20 cars that complete our 55 lap. Incredible showcase of what Dirt Oval has to offer here on the iRacing service. And it's like I said, wherever you are around the world, you are in for a show. Monitoring the YouTube chat, it's not just the traditional dirt community that is watching, and indeed we are joined by sim racers from across the globe, sim racers at the top level of sim racing in so many different disciplines. We'll wait a couple of minutes then and see if we get post-race interviews from the likes of Ethan Uwe, Cody Palmley, and Ethan Toder, but I don't necessarily think it's the most likely. Instead, I will talk about what a year it's been for iRacing fans across the globe. This special event calendar is where community meets competition, and that's no more present than in some of the endurance events that we do. No more present in even these races where you drive by yourself, but a lot of these guys have a team behind them, and a lot of these teams work very hard behind the scenes to be on top when it comes to these iRacing special events, and indeed the super sessions that we have for these races. Started on the high banks of Daytona with the Daytona 24-hour race, the Daytona 500. Then you go to Bathurst, crisscross across the globe, down to Australia for the 12-hour race there, before returning to the Sunshine State, not in Daytona this time around, but at the Sebring International Raceway for the 12 hours there. The first of the VCO Grand Slams where physical hardware trophies were on the line. Then we went throwback racing, the Norks Wilkesboro Throwback Cup, where we broke out the 1987 NASCAR Cup cars for a throwback and a tribute to the Norks Wilkesboro glory days when that track was in competition. Then the second of the VCO Grand Slams saw us travel to the Green Hell for the 24 hours of the Nürburgring. Coverage brought to us in association with Radio Show Limited here live on RaceSpotTV. Before we went into the month of May, the iRacing Fixed 500 sets the stage for the iRacing Open 500. More than a decade of history behind there, where we saw Brandon Traynor become a 3-time winner. Well and truly the king of the bricks. Just a week after that, we go to the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the iRacing Coke 600, the longest of those races in the NASCAR iRacing series. Before we go back sports car racing, the Watkins Glen 6-hour, delighted to have that track and that race back on this iRacing special event calendar. Then another 24-hour race, this time in the mountains of Belgium. We went for the 24 hours of Spa, fortunately a little bit more racing than just 2 laps in the rain conditions like we saw in a certain open wheel series. Before we had a race that benefited many. The iRacing 4 Hours of Charlotte benefiting the National MS Society. Plenty of interesting things were announced there, including the fact that rain is coming to iRacing. New content was debuted as well, so much special stuff before the first of these dirt special events, the Knoxville Nationals, where we saw Tyler Schell hold off Alex Bergeron by just half a tenth of a second to win the very first iRacing Knoxville Nationals. Then back to NASCAR racing, the Darlington 500 on Labor Day as well. What a fantastic race that was. That will be retired for 2022. We'll instead have a new NASCAR race joining the special event calendar. Then we rolled into the second half of the year, the Bathurst 1000, Petit Le Mans, the third of the VCO Grand Slam, then the Crandon Pro 4 Championship, where we broke out the Pro 4 trucks in what was a crazy couple of races across of the evening. Jim Beaver Esports coming out on top there. The final NASCAR race was the Phoenix finale. Really interesting racing that we had there, and of course mirrored what we saw in the real world. The Suzuka 10-hour race, the final of the VCO Grand Slam, saw some great GT3 action in the land of the rising sun. And to close things off, the third week of November, the Winter Derby, we broke out the super late models at the Five Flag Speedway for 300 miles, returning to the Sunshine State before we made the trip here to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the final of the iRacing special event that has just been won by Ethan Uwe in dramatic fashion. With that said though, doesn't look like we're getting post-race interviews, so it is time to say goodbye. For everyone at iRacing.com, for everyone at RaceSpotTV, we thank you for tuning in, not just tonight, but across of 2021 and the 20 great special events that we've covered. We'll do it all again in 2022, so if you're not already subscribed to RaceSpotTV, maybe hit that red button, hit the bell next to it to get notified every single time we go live with a great sim racing series that we get to cover. A reminder as well, the iRacing World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car World Championship is well and truly underway. Join Chase Roudman and Justin Prince Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, for what is bound to be an incredible championship showcase. There has already been plenty of championship drama. We're not even halfway through the season. On behalf of Hugo Luis, my producer, for Istvan Balor providing our track cameras for today's event, my name is Arjuna Kankipati. We thank you for joining us in 2021. We wish you and yours a happy holidays, and we'll see you in 22 for more great iRacing action. So